Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another Southern Republic knife review. So we're going to be talking about one of my absolutely favorite knives as of late, the Benchmade Barrage series. So I've got two variations of it. I've got the 583 BK and the 581 model. So they're very similar, only a few slight differences. As you can tell, clearly this is a tanto point and this is a drop point. So the major differences, so let's kind of get all the general stuff out of the way. So the overall length on both knives is 8.35 inches. We have a 3.6 inch blade with a 4.75 inch handle. Both knives have a 0.121 inch thick blade stock. And that's kind of where the similarities are going to end here. On our Tanto 583 BK, we are running the traditional CM or 154 CM blade steel. There you go, Osborne design, of course, with the axis lock. And on the 581, we are running the M390 Super Steel. And as you can see, this is a first production run, number 118 of the first 1,000 on this model. I happened to catch this at a gun show from a guy that didn't quite know what he was selling. I got it for a really good price, so it was worth it. So the M390 Super Steel has a Rockwell hardness of 60 to 62, whereas the 154 CM has a Rockwell hardness of 58 to 61. As we can clearly see, this is a tanto point, this is our drop point. The tanto is weighing in at 4.2 ounces, while the 581 spear point or drop point is weighing in at 5.2 ounces. So this is actually an ounce heavier than this model. And you can clearly see that this handle is slightly different. This is actually brushed aluminum with G10. This is just all G10. So that brushed aluminum is where, I'm pretty sure where we're getting that extra ounce from. Because I can feel, when you feel these knives, you can clearly feel that the handle on this one is much beefier than on this version. Although I do really enjoy both of these knives, they are really some of my favorite carries. As for the deployment, I will, let me snap these out for you. These are assisted openers. I really love Benchmade assisted openers. They're just absolutely amazing. Listen to this thing open though. I mean, that is just authoritative. You'll hear a slightly different opening on this one though. It's kind of interesting. You don't have that snap that this one does. Bam! I mean, that's just ridiculous. I love the sound on this one. Although because it is a first production run, I'm not a huge fan of carrying this one because it's kind of a collection more than a carry. Obviously both of these knives are Benchmade, so they're running the axis lock, which in my opinion is probably one of the best locking systems out there. I really love, what Benchmade did with that. It really makes your knife truly ambidextrous because you can pull it in from either side. I generally just kind of go with the pinch pull. I just think that is just the easiest way. Also, you can, not on assisted you can't, but on any non-assisted you can just pull these and snap your blade out. Adoy. Let's see, we already talked about the handles. Obviously the G10, aluminum plus G10, giving that extra ounce in the handle as opposed to this one. The clip design, we have our standard Benchmade arrow clips. I really do like the Benchmade clip. I think it's one of the nicer ones out there. It does ride a little bit low here, so you are going to have a relatively decent amount sticking out of your pocket. But I prefer that, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of the deep carry pocket clips like SOG and some of the other ones are doing. I just don't like that. I don't want to have to, grab inside, push the knife up in my pants to be able to pull it out. I just want to be able to grab it and slide it right out. Like I said, you may be different from me. That's my opinion. these are both really awesome knives. I don't carry this one. I love this knife, but I don't carry it because it is more of just a collection piece for me. I do carry this one quite often. I've used it a lot. And honestly, I have not had to resharpen the blade on this one yet, even with all the use that I've done. I think the 154 CM just holds a wonderful, wonderful edge. I think you just really get great amount of mileage out of your blades when you get, you know, high quality blade steel. For the value, not cheap. These are not cheap knives, to be honest with you. This one is going to run you anywhere from about 180 to 200, and this one is going to run you anywhere from about 115 to about 140. I've seen it. I happened to catch a really good deal on Blade HQ with this one. I had 10% discount for something, so I wound up getting this one for about 110 shipped with the discount I had. And this one, like I said, this one runs around 200 normally. I picked this up from a guy at a gun show for 125, which is why I jumped all over that, because I was like, yeah, I'm just never going to come across this version for that price. It just wasn't going to happen. If you're a Benchmade junkie like I am, these are really two knives that you really need, in my opinion. Especially any variation. There's several variations of the Barrage. There's always the mini Barrages. I don't like mini knives. I really don't. There's something about a small knife that I just don't like. I like full-size knives. I've got big hands. I wear extra large gloves. I like a full size. And that's a 4.75. It's almost a 5-inch handle, and that, you know, fits my hand, as you can see. I mean, that fits right in my hand. You know, so a smaller knife with a smaller handle is just not gonna fit comfortably for me, to be honest with you. You don't have any jimping in this knife, but with the way the scales are cut on this, it just kind of fits into your hand just so perfectly that it really doesn't really affect the knife at all, in my opinion. You know, jimping is really great on some knives because they don't design the handles very ergonomically, but with a good knife and a good ergonomic handle design like these have, you don't really need it. You know, people harp on it and they harp on it and they harp on it. And I get tired of people whining about shit like that all the time. It's like, you know what? Knife designers are not stupid people. They design knives, they design them for a reason. Because if you have a good knife design and a good handle design, you don't need jimping. You know, especially if you're wearing gloves. Jimping and gloves aren't going to do anything. All jimping does on your glove is tear your glove up. So I'd rather have no jimping and a good handle design and not destroy my gloves every 2 weeks than have a jimping which is really sharp and just tears the ever-loving bejesus out of my gloves. That's me. Might not be you. Might not be certain whiny people that review stuff on YouTube. Not to mention any names. Back to the point at hand. I've digressed. Benchmade Barrages. This is the 581. This is the 583 BK version. There's a 583 regular version, not black. So, you know, it is what it is. Get one, add it to your collection, carry it, enjoy it, love it. It's Benchmade, it rocks. As always, Semper Fi. Have a good day.